Okay. Oh wow. Oh wow, that was cool. I didn't know we could do that. So I'm like removing and adding to stream, and I think Ryu is also removing and adding to stream, and I think we're doubling our efforts. Maybe I don't know, but the thing worked.
I would never do that.
Here we are, and holy cow piss! We already have 2 people in the chat. So
whoa,
yeah. So
who's here?
Who is here? I see Miracle Man again in the chat. I see
What?
Not Near Mint is here, and he's not on the panel.
What?
Hermes is here. Joker Fox, what's up, Joker Fox?
Love that.
Wow, we have wow, and the number's going up. We got like 5 people now. Danny, I just watched Danny do a review of the Many Saints of Newark, and man, that is a good movie. If you're a Sopranos fan, I definitely recommend it. Yeah. So, what's up, friendly neighborhood nerds? This is Judah Rad. I'm here with Ree.
Woo!
We got Miracle Man, and then we also have Halden and Aramis. Halden is joining us for the first time because he's doing some comic book stuff, and we're gonna get into it. But first. Oh, what's up, Nathan? Yes. But first, we're going to pass the microphone over to Ree, and she's going to tell us about what she's been nerding out on lately. And it doesn't have to be comic related.
Okay, good. Because I was saying before we went live, I was like, I've been reading books without pictures, and it's this one. So it's really good. How the fear of death shaped human society by this couple that are like also doctors / psychologists. So let me just read you the blurb. The human mind can grapple with the future, visualizing and calculating solutions to complex problems, giving us tremendous advantages over other species throughout our evolution. However, this capability comes with a curse. By 5 to 10 years of age, all humans know where they are heading. To the grave.
Ooh.
In Mortals, Dr. Rachel Menzies and Professor Ross Menzies, both acclaimed psychologists whose life work has focused on death anxiety, examine all the major human responses to death across history. It's dope.
Yeah, that's hot. I like that. You did get one thing wrong. You said it was a book with no pictures. Technically, there are no books with no pictures because letters are actually symbols and are pictures. So, yeah, we'll talk more about it offline. But that was
well, man,
kind of messed up. Kind of messed up there. But
you're right.
That does sound really dope.
You're right. It's really good.
That sounds incredibly dope. I would love to read that. It sounds like a good listener.
I think there's probably an audiobook version. I brought it home. I started reading it and I just couldn't stop. You know those ones where you're like, oh, it's midnight and I'm halfway through. It's excellent. It's got a whole bunch of like religious theory and like stuff about architecture and literature and like because everything kind of fucking revolves around our mortality, right? When you think about it. So
does it take a metaphysical spiritual approach, or is it really just like the science side of it, or like what? Do you know what I'm asking?
It's very scientific, but there's definitely like they're both very spiritual and thoughtful people, despite being scientists at the core of what they're doing. Yeah, so everything they say is supported by data, but they do have like they're not just boring kind of. Who's the guy that wrote The History of Everything? That fucking that doctor. I'll have to Google. I'm sorry. I don't want to give us all that dead air. But
what was the name of it?
Not sure.
The
History of Everything. Yeah. I want to say his name's like Bill something, but he's like really like it's like reading the Silmarillion. Like everything's really, you know, here's a bunch of data and you can wrap your brain around it. But these kids they obviously understand the romance of writing and what goes into telling a good story along with the information. So
it's a
pleasure to read. It's got heart.
I'm getting Bill Bryson.
Bill Bryson. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
There could not be a more boring name than Bill Bryson.
Right?
I'm sorry.
I mean, and anybody in politics has it beat.
Yeah.
True.
Bill Bryson is like the unseasoned couscous of names.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the most descriptive thing I've ever heard in my life, Judah. Fantastic. Well
Thank
done. Well done.
Makes
I'll be
perfect
here. I'll
sense.
be here all night. So
I would
Miracle
reckon.
Man, I'm gonna skip you, not out of malice, but just because you take the longest. I'm sorry.
All right, that's fair. That's
Okay.
fair.
I'm
Accurate.
gonna go ahead and throw Halden. Halden has never been on our show before, so this is the first time. I'm gonna throw Halden Fraley on the spot, and I'm gonna enlarge him. And just tell us what you've been reading, nerding out on, and just doing with your leisure time.
Yeah. So I'm in art school right now. I'm in college, so I don't get a ton of free time. But I am, right. But I do have a pretty dope comic shop down the street. Shout out to Velocity Comics, and I go there every Wednesday. So I do keep up with comics pretty regularly. I got my stack right here that some of it I've read, some of it I haven't, but I got the Al Ewing Marvel stuff's been pretty dope. Sad it's ending, or at least Guardians is, because that's been like the most fun I think coming out of a superhero book in a while. I got Batman '89 because I love retro Batman. The new stuff is cool, but like animated series, 90s movies, like that's my Batman right there. And then Radiant Black's been pretty dope. I don't know, trippy colors and glitch effects and Power Rangers. So that's my stack. I'm trying to get through it, not as fast as I want to, but it's there. It's always there for me when I'm done. So
nice.
That's a solid stack.
That is solid.
Very nice.
Radiant Black is too good. It's like,
so Judah told me to read Radiant Black, and he was like, "You've got to read this. It's fucking amazing." And I was like, "All right, Judah, calm down, bruh." And we've had disagreements on what's good and not before, but I read it and it was fucking awesome. It was so good. Like, I don't know how far into it you are, but man, what a
I'm current.
I just read 8, so I think I'm current as well. The only problem I have with it is that it only comes out once a month, and it's like,
right?
Yeah.
If it's that good, it should be coming out at least every other week. But whatever.
I really want to get the trades for Radiant Black because, Halden says it's really good, and you say it's really great. I gotta try it. I gotta.
So there are some things I love that aren't for everybody, and there are some things other people love that aren't for me. But Radiant Black is one thing where I can't imagine what kind of person would not like it. Like, I would bet $100 that you like it.
It's the best Spider-Man book that's not a Spider-Man book.
Yes,
exactly. Shit. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yes.
Yep.
Because he's like struggling with like real life and stuff.
That's exactly why I don't care for the book. So
stop it. You're lying.
No, I had the first issue. And I was like, it kind of feels like Spider-Man. And I don't know if I ever told you this before, but Spider-Man would be my least favorite Big Two property.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree, but
so I'm not mad that I'm not mad that you don't love Spider-Man, but I'm going down the list of truly horrific Big Two properties. And I'm like, how could that be your least favorite?
Yeah.
I legitimately, no bullshit, do not see 1 ounce of the appeal in Spider-Man.
Have you ever heard of the Inhumans?
I have. I think there's more appeal to the Inhumans. I would rather read 150 issues of Black Bolt and just Black Bolt. Nobody else. Just fucking silent as fuck Black Bolt than read 1 issue of Spider-Man.
Wow.
Hot take.
Can't relate.
I'm questioning my entire reality right now.
So what is it about Spider-Man you don't like? Is it his rogues or just Spider-Man's, personality?
Actually, his rogues are the best thing about him. He's the best thing about him.
Hey, Miracle, what's your favorite DC property?
Favorite?
Yeah.
Doom Patrol.
What about Marvel?
Black Bolt.
No,
Jack
don't really. Actually, Jack of Hearts is pretty fucking dope. No, Squadron Supreme is actually my favorite Marvel property. Squadron Supreme.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I thought you were going to say Suicide Squad for DC, and then I was going to be like, see the indication of taste.
See, Doom Patrol only barely beats out Suicide Squad, though. That was like probably runner-up.
Yeah, right, fair enough.
Totally
but Doom
derailed
Patrol
the
is
show.
Actually
but to be fair, you can't beat Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man.
You can't. That's probably one of the greatest supervillains in history, if you think about it. Every iteration, too. The comic book version, the television show version, the cartoon version. You make an AVM, man, and that is going to be the best character in whatever you put him in.
I want to see a dark and gritty Condiment King-centric movie.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah. Where he, like, melts people with mustard.
Yeah.
You know what? It should be Condiment King meets Kite Man, and that should be the movie, and it should be dark and grim. And everybody should be dead by the end of it. And everybody.
Perfect.
Like Reservoir Dog style.
I like
Take
that.
my money. So Aramis, what have you been up to lately? I'm gonna go ahead and enlarge you. What a sweet mask. Holy shit.
That is such a sweet mask.
Where'd you get that mask from?
I got it off of the IFLC swag shop, and I will drop the link when my turn is done.
That's amazing. And thank you so much.
Not as cool, but that hat is also pretty sweet.
Yeah, that hat's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
So
I spent some time in the Normandy myself.
So I recently started college, and with any good school, you have a library. So I decided to check out Monstrous.
Nice.
At the library. I unfortunately.
This is your first time reading it?
I had to return volumes 1 and 2, but I was able to keep volumes 3 and 4 for now. So this is what I've been reading, and after that, I'm going to start Black Science.
Oh my God!
Oh, that's a phenomenal book.
I love how I'll just pick up two of Ree's favorites right now. That's cool.
Shout out to G Money for giving this to me. We all love you.
G-Money.
We love you, G Money. We wish you were in the chat, but have fun doing with whatever you're doing. I'm not going to disclose that here, but we love you.
Don't take credit, but you know why G Money bought it, right? I fucking up until this year, I was a huge Remender stan, and that art is out. Like, I don't know if you can open the book up to show us some of that art, Aramis, but
amazing.
That Black Science, is worth it for the fucking look at that shit.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh yeah, get in my eyes.
Yeah, if you like a multiversal tale, that Black Science is for you. I'll tell you what.
I haven't read a bad comic book from Rick Remender yet.
He's
pretty consistent.
Decent at writing. It's just not good at paying his artists.
That's right. He didn't pay the scumbag artist,
right?
Wasn't it? Yeah, which is a great book. But that sucks.
So the main thing I was reading this week wasn't a comic book, but it was a novel by Brandon Sanderson, which is Sunreach.
It looks like a phone.
It is. It's a digital book.
What's that?
So it's a spin-off novel off of one of my favorite series, the Skyward series.
Cool.
I love this cover the most.
He wrote another very popular series as well.
Well, there's Mistborn, Wave Kings. I think it was called Wave Kings, unless it was called something else. But I think he's most known for Mistborn. He did The Wheel of Time.
That's right. The Wheel of Time is the one that I'm familiar with.
The later books of Wheel of Time, which is going to be adapted to Amazon. Also, the last time I was on this show, I had promised Robo I would read 10 pages of this to start. Since then, I have read 0 pages.
Screw you, Robo.
So, what I think I will do to help me start this journey is to peel the plastic live on air. That new comic book smell.
Oh my
God. This is an unwrapping or An
Unboxing?
unsealing. No, it's not an unboxing.
box.
We have pierced the plastic.
It's not
The
mint
stru-
anymore.
The structural integrity has been compromised.
The value is
Re-
gone.
Yeah, resale value has
Yeah,
disappeared.
dude. As soon as you just drove your new car off the lot and lost like half the value. Wow, look at that plastic just come off like that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
That is great.
And
It ain't
here
the
we
meat
have
now.
it.
Now
It
it's
is
just the meat.
open. This thick graphic novel.
She thick though.
Oh man.
In this house, we support books that can knock people out.
Oh, nice. That is a hefty
You could literally kill
line.
someone with that. Yeah.
They say the pen is mightier than the sword, so I guess that's what they mean. You can
Yeah.
people with books.
Well, I mean, you use the pen to sign for the packages.
No, he's got you there.
So I saw you got the monstrous volumes, and I'm not trying to be Johnny Braggs a lot, but I also have this the first two monstrous volumes, and ooh, what's this right here?
What is that? Oh,
Whoa.
snap.
Marjorie Liu, wishing you an amazing adventure, Marjorie Liu. And then she also
That's
signed
awesome.
this one, and she wrote, "May all your dreams come true."
Here's a bit of
you,
IFLC
Marjorie.
trivia. Marjorie used to be in our original intro talking about how she freaking loves comics, but we decided that intro was too long.
Cringe. Yeah, too long. But we're very proud to be acknowledged by Marjorie Liu, as we should.
She's
be.
so great. That whole series is so fire. What do you think, Aramis? Are you loving it?
Monstrous. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things I do like, but there's some things I don't like. There's like
Little
the
dense.
like the little fox girl. It doesn't really appeal to me. That's like not part of my demographic. But like the giant monster that comes out of where this girl's arm is supposed to be, I'm down for that. Give me more.
Yeah.
Give me more.
I-
I crave Lovecraft monsters.
I think
Oh, yeah.
Monstrous is good. Like I like it. It's fun. It's incredibly well drawn, and the characters are really well fleshed out. The only issue I have is the limitations of my own brain, because there's so much world building that could happen so quickly that it was like just too dense for me. It was like hard for me to like stay with it, if that makes any sense.
It's pretty high
Yeah.
fantasy, yeah.
What
Yeah.
was
Like it's
that
crazy straight.
cat professor's name? The one who like after each
Oh.
issue
Yeah.
is like,
There's a
here's what
world
you
of
can't
exposition.
understand with the little
Yeah.
tappy stick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I forgot about
So-
that.
So I bought some comics yesterday, by the way.
Oh, what'd you get?
Nice.
I already showed you fine people this, but I'm going to show our multitudes of fans really quick.
Woo!
I got a Ninja wraparound. Like when I'm going through boxes, if I see a shiny Valiant, I buy it. Like I just have to.
Yeah.
And this is a wraparound cover, but the back is cool too. Just trust me on that. And then I got like my third copy of this because every time I see it, I'm like, ooh. And then had to get this. I've been looking forward to this for weeks, so I was very excited to read this bad boy. And then Shazing. Who else is reading this?
I am.
It's so
Yeah.
good. How is
It's
it
really
this good?
good. Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
really good.
Man, it's so like I knew it was gonna be good because it had Matt Kinn attached to it, but I was also like, it's got to be kind of gimmicky if it's like a Keanu Reeves comic book,
Right.
But not at all. It's totally just awesome and super violent.
Have you noticed like the last maybe 2 issues have been a little bit of a drag on it though? It feels like it's basically the same thing just for 2 issues long.
They're really taking their time on like this relationship with him and this doctor, and like
Yeah.
just delving into his backstory.
Right.
But I feel like it's the kind of development that I feel, and I could be wrong. I've been burned before, but it's the kind of development that I just feel is really going to pay off. And, we're still getting stuff like people's ribs coming out of their back when they get kicked
I
in
was
the
gonna
stomach.
say the
Right.
art is
Ooh.
fucking out of this world. Like it's
No
just worth
shit.
It's
it.
real good. It's real good.
No shit,
that
Halden, this guy gets kicked in the stomach and with such velocity that you actually see his ribs and spine blast out his back.
Oh,
It's gnarly. Like the killing is so gnarly in this.
Fresh.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's if you're looking for just like some carnage in your comics, like Berserker for sure.
Nice.
Ainsley also seems to appreciate rib explodies, and I think that's something we have in common. Besides that, I'm not going to drag them out, but I'm finishing my Silver Surfer. I'm collecting every single Silver Surfer comic ever made. So I'm like 30 comics away from completing volume 3. And then I'm going to start doing volume 1, which is going to cost me. But I'm thinking just for short-term satisfaction, I can start with the fantasy masterpieces.
There you go.
Yeah, so that'll be good. But yeah, I'm just kind of working on that. And then I'm also reading Quantum and Woody. Yeah, I'm reading this volume of Quantum and Woody, the Kibblesmith volume, and so far it's really good. I'm so close to having read literally every Valiant comic made since 2012. So that's where I'm at. Oh! Who's watching C? Are any of you watching C?
No, what's up?
No,
I've never heard of it.
me neither.
Oh, Jesus! Holy shit! I can't believe. Watch this show. So it stars Jason Momoa, first of all, and in the second season it also has what's his face? God, why am I?
Oh, he's good. I like him.
The guy from fucking.
Oh, this is the one where they were born
Drax.
blind.
Yeah.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah,
The
Dave
Apple TV
Bautista.
one.
Yeah, it's on Apple TV, and the whole world is blind. Like it's far in the future. It's like
Seen the trailer.
500.
It looks good. Yeah.
500 years in the future, and it's insane. Like the combat when everyone's blind is like almost like this turn-based combat because they're like feeling for each other and hearing each other, and it's just bizarre. I've never seen anything like it, but it's really interesting.
That's cool.
That's a
is it?
must. It's Apple TV, so
Okay.
you might have to either find a creative way to watch it or get Apple
Creative.
TV. Yeah. And then I recently watched the Sopranos movie, the prequel. It's called The Many Saints of Newark, and if you're a Sopranos fan, it's really good. And that's it. That's my life in a nutshell. So Miracle Man.
Yes.
Let's
Take
see
us away, bitch.
I don't got any comics right now.
Oh yeah.
Not really into the whole comic scene.
Wait. Can we see your figurine? Do you have it handy?
Oh no, it's in the other room. I'm
That's
so
okay.
sorry. I'll have
That's
it next time I'm on the show. I'll have it.
I just think it's so cool.
It is pretty dope, right? So if I was going to start off, my friend Judah here, he made a statement in regards to Rick Remender, and that he's never seen a book from Remender he didn't like. I'm about to show you that book.
Okay.
Don't pull
But
out
how can I
Venom.
not like it if I haven't read it?
Well, you won't as soon as you see it.
Oh, is it called? What is it? What is that?
Terminator 3: Eyes of the Rise. This is the official comic book adaptation. It was done by this fly-by-night, this flash in the pan publisher, Beckett. All right.
That looks great.
They did a bunch of square-bound series. They were all miniseries. They actually had some cool ones. They didn't do a ton of licensed books, but they did a lot of books that were they planned on making them into movies and shit. But here you go. It's not written by Remender, but it is inked by Remender.
Whoa.
And I'll tell you what, if you thought that movie was bad, this comic has got something for you.
That movie was atrocious. That's one of the worst franchise
movies ever made. One of the worst movies ever made. Period.
Yeah.
But I did pick up a couple of books recently. Sorry,
I'd rather get a second bris than watch that movie again.
Whew. You and me both, brother. I did get some pretty dope books today that I was sharing with Miss Respawn here a little while ago.
Ooh.
And I haven't shown them on the Not Near Min show because I just got them today. So you guys are going to be the first ones to see them. How about that?
Exclusive.
Right. I'm gonna start with the banger right here. That's called Splatter number 1. That is
Splatter. I barely knew her.
This is a Tim Vigil book. And you can tell because Tim did the cover because there's a woman with a little crotch shot right there, right on the front cover.
It's a little bit of the old toe there.
The old toe.
Yeah.
Next up, I have Spoof Comics Presents number 6.
Oh boy.
With an Adam Hughes cover.
The X Babes. That actually looks cool, like unironically cool.
That's what I said. I was like, I actually like it.
It doesn't look like a spoof. It looks like a really dope series that just came out.
Yeah, I'm like, that's rad.
So Spoof Comics did a bunch of spoofs back then.
I'm noticing a theme here.
Yes. Wait till you see the next one. Remember the team Wetworks?
Oh wow.
That's Wet Shirts.
Can you make up any more? Like what should be the next one?
Well, here you go. You got Spoon.
What?
Yep, that's what I said. Spoon. And you know what? That's not even the most ridiculous one. They did 20-some issues with this. I have the final issue, which has a Cully Hamner cover. Adam Hughes did like half a dozen covers in this. There's a bunch of them. The sad thing is the publisher of this. This was from Parody Press. Was the publisher, and the publisher of Parody Press, if it's the person I'm thinking of, is a member of the well-known comic book hate group today. So I don't necessarily recommend buying any of their new stuff, but their 30-year-old stuff not bad.
Okay. All right.
And then where is it? Okay, I'm gonna show you a couple of real weird ones here because I gotta get weird comics when I see them, right?
Oh, the weird ones are starting now? Okay.
The weird ones. Yeah, right. Like that wasn't the weird stuff yet, right?
You saw the Kaiju sex one last week, right?
Did I show you? Yeah, okay. All right, good. So I was hoping I'm not going to let anybody down here. Maybe I'm not going to start the weird ones. Where the hell? Okay, here we go. So this is from Scout. It's called Impossible Jones. It was a Kickstarter, but if you missed it, they brought it. Scout is publishing it. It is done by Carl Kiesel.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The Keese dog.
Mommy milkers. That's 100% accurate, Ribbo. Kiesel has done a ton of work for DC over the years. A prolific creator. And highly recommend anything that he's worked on. This here doesn't
look weird.
It's not weird. It's traditional superhero stuff. But it is unique. I know you're a big Valiant guy.
Oh, nice!
Just got that.
Is that Acclaim era?
That is right before the Acclaim era. So technically, Acclaim owned them. I think you'll know by. Yep, there you go. Acclaim bought them already, but it's before they shut down Valiant and just went to Acclaim up here in the corner. These are the tough ones. Once you get that Acclaimed stamp there, print runs drop down to next to nothing.
Is it because the word Acclaim, people are like, oh, it's not going to be a good comic book because it's owned by like an arcade game company?
Back then, actually, that was not a detriment.
Huh.
That did not hurt them. But unfortunately, obviously, today that that connotation wouldn't do well for them. And then all right, so I gotta show you these two because these are super weird, and I loved them. I was so happy I found them. Where's the other one? There it is.
Robot Titties from New Orleans.
So this one's this one got a little dinged on me here when I bought it, but this is another North Star book. Look at that cover.
Wow,
that is a good cover.
That's a good cover.
That is a good cover.
North Star was Tim Vigil's publishing house. He did all kinds of real dark stuff. And seeing as how Vigil's involved, there's murder and death and mayhem and destruction.
Okay. That is not Ainsley's North Star.
And there's probably some dingle and some hoo-ha in it. So I don't want to show you any hoo-ha or dingle here. Yeah. But there you go. There's a traditional nice pile of rotted remains there.
Nice.
Good old school black and white stuff.
Prepared just the way that I like them.
Jesus, that cover is my city last night. It was like hella. We had a thundercrack that made me shit my actual pants.
Wow.
It was so loud. I think I died on the spot. So this is the afterlife. Welcome to the afterlife. Hello, we made it.
Nice. I'm glad to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to be here.
I don't know if we went upstairs or downstairs, but either way,
I guess we'll find out.
At least we're all together, right?
That's right.
So could have been worse. And two more oddball books here that I read this week. Knight's Children Liaisons. This is from Millennium Publications.
Oh, it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's an interesting cover, right?
She's got a little something on her. She's just a little
Like
something.
some jam.
Little something.
Jam.
Yeah.
Pasta sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And
You
here
gotta
we
be careful
have
with that stuff.
Spark Plug number 2 from Heroic Publishing.
Ah,
I fucking love these really just weird ass black and white comics from the 90s and 80s. This one here, Heroic, they did Champions, which if you pick up old 80s comics, you'll see a lot of ads for an RPG game called Champions. That publisher, that the people who made the game publish comics. Comics are still getting published today. They do they do Kickstarters every couple of years. They do another book. They use some more modern books, one of which is called The Sensational G Girl, which has some interesting covers. Maybe I'll show you one of those later. I don't have it with me here right now.
he means it has people boofing.
No, it doesn't. No, I got to show it to you later.
Isn't boofing when you like blow drugs up someone's butt?
No, that's there's a word for that. There's a word for that, but it's not.
I thought it was boofing.
No, it's hooping. It's hooping
Oh.
when you put the drugs up the butt. It's called hooping. I don't know why I know that.
Oh,
We
It's
are
called
learning. IFLC is a learning environment.
we are edutainment. We educate
Right.
and entertain.
Right.
No.
Right.
I was wrong. Boofing does mean that.
Oh, it does.
What did I say?
Another word for that. Another word for that is gack blowing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Gack.
that sounds unpleasant.
Oh
That sounds unpleasant. Oh my god. All right.
Chugging
So whew.
We're getting canceled.
Yeah. It was nice. It was nice streaming with you guys.
But Robo, it gets you fucking wasted.
Right. That's true. It does.
Is
Your
it worth
anal
your
glands.
dignity? Who knows?
I forgot. I haven't even thought that word in so long. It means nothing to me.
What dignity?
Yeah.
Last but not least, this is the book of this week that I just read. It just came out this week. Superman 78 number 2.
Nice.
All right. Now listen, everybody ever see
Buzzkill Robo over here.
the second Superman movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it Chris Reeves? And you know, at the end, he pulls the cellophane thing off of his chest and throws it
Yeah.
at the right, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is this?" But we all accepted it back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do the thing right here in
Oh,
the comics.
nice.
Oh,
do it.
nice.
They do it right there. Right there.
Haha.
Yeah.
They do their
Yeah.
thing.
They did the thing, and I really loved it. It was pretty dope. I remember getting to that page and like going, "Ah!" in my little nerd voice. I was super excited.
Donner's
good times.
Soups is still the best screen soups that isn't animated.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Dini Soups is really the best, but whatever.
Wow.
Cool. Cool beans.
Fleischer's Superman is the best Superman. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Fleischer Superman is fucking great, and you can watch all of them in like 20 minutes. which is
Right.
wonderful.
Every single one. Yeah.
We used to do live viewings of the Fleischer Superman shorts, and it was really fun. We didn't have sound back then. I don't know. It was like back in the olden times, but we had some pretty good laughs about it. But it was cool.
You know, every single one of the animation cells from the old Fleischer cartoons gone.
Dang.
Burned them all.
That sucks.
Yeah,
That
the
does
nitrates that they made them with back then were highly flammable, so they didn't want to store them, so they put them in a furnace and burned them up.
Dang.
Also, the
That
old
Yep.
film degraded over time as well. Like, there's a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
great films from like before the 40s that were just lost to time.
Yep.
Or like parts. Yeah, that's crazy. So why are we here? Why are we here? We're here to ask Halden Fraley about his comic book that he's made.
I thought we were here
So-
to summon
Cosmos.
demons.
We are the
Some what?
cosmos understanding itself. Yeah, in a way we are.
I mean, it
Some
works.
of
I'm
the
here,
demons.
right? It works.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those are all valid. Those are all valid points.
I'm a little disappointed that you're the demon we summoned, but okay.
Look, you shouldn't have bought dollar store.
Wow.
Incense. This is what you get.
You got a demon on Wish.
A wish
You
demon.
got me there.
Wish demon, yeah. A demon.
You could have prayed for the good
Cool.
stuff and you didn't. So now you know.
Yeah, that's kind of on me. I was in charge of the supplies.
Wow.
What kind of blood did you give us?
I all the manuals said goat blood, but I didn't have any goats, so I used cow.
So you went to Party City?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Party City.
At least you still got a grazing herbivore.
See, I went to Party City looking for a cow, but the only closest thing I could find is a person wearing a cow costume.
Right.
Which, come on, are we really going to nitpick that hard into it? Like, come on.
Yeah. This is all unpaid, man. Like,
I mean, I wrote the rules, so I mean, I say it works.
yeah.
Well,
Great.
what? So you're the demon that we summoned. What have you brought us? Why
What's
are
your
you
thing?
here?
Well, yeah. So I, like I said, I'm a student in art school right now. Hey,
I'm here. What
Talking about
happens?
summoning demons.
I need to stop summoning the wrong one.
I wasn't feeling I was going to do schoolwork. I'm like, you know what? I don't have time. I don't feel well anyway. Let me just have these guys. And I'm just like not doing schoolwork. I'm just sitting here like, you know what? Just fucking chill out.
Come hang out. Yeah.
What's up, Halden? How you doing? Halden?
yeah.
Halden. All right, cool. I have a feeling I interrupted a segue into your book.
You are good.
That's
dude.
right.
No.
But you segued back to it. So
Came back around. So yeah, I'm a student in art school right now. I'm about halfway through. I'm kind of older, so I got some community college stuff. But I spent my COVID summer just like making my first comic book. I just figured like I had enough in my brain already just to do it, so I just sat down and got it done, and I finished it, and now I'm putting it up on Kickstarter, and it's my first Kickstarter campaign, and it's been super great.
So what's it called and what's it about? And did you collaborate with anyone else?
So it's all me. I made the whole thing. I just like sat down and busted it out. It's called Lady Mirland and the Poison Knight. It's kind of like a dark fantasy sort of body horror sort of like comic. Just a lot of stuff I love crammed into one book. I love sword and sorcery. I love old Conan stuff. I love like John Carpenter body horror. And I love like old Disney animation, like from the 40s and 50s, like Sleeping Beauty, that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to like throw it all into one comic and sort of just put it out there.
Nice.
Thank you.
So Conan, did you like, is that just kind of growing up and getting into comics? Is that sort of like where you were at as far as like your inspirations go?
A lot of my inspirations, like I did grow up with a lot of comic books. Conan specifically is the old Arnold movie. Like that's the thing. Like I love old 80s movies. I love just old stuff in general. Like the body horror, that's the thing. Like that's a huge one for me.
John
Alien.
Carpenter's the thing, not like the thing, like a vague thing.
I mean, I like
John
Ben Grimm too a
Carpenter's the
lot,
thing.
but I didn't pull from him for the comic. I pulled from John Carpenter.
So what's the best thing in life?
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, hear the lamentation of the women.
Yes, thank you.
Accurate.
Thank you. Man, that would have been so awkward if you didn't have, thank you.
Oh, that would have sucked. That would have been the worst.
Yeah.
Huge, man. Huge.
Awesome. So over this process, so you kind of doing your own comic book by yourself is a tremendous undertaking. Can you kind of describe like your work process and how you sort of where you started, the journey that you kind of had to go on to get this done, and then when you knew you were finished?
Yeah. So I had sort of art pieces I'd done, in the past, and I had like characters in my head floating around, and the character there on screen, Lady Mirland, she had been sort of around in a while, and I just thought, I've got characters, let's just throw them together. And I looked up a lot of resources on YouTube. There's a ton of good info out there just for, getting started with a comic. I know a lot of people say like start with scripts. I sort of just start thumbnails first. I'm really visual. I'm an art student first. I'm a creative writing minor, but my brain always goes to art first.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just sat down, got my thumbnails figured out, had little script notes next to those, and then penciled them real big, inked it all by hand, and then scanned it all into the computer, colored it digitally, got it inked, and then put it all together.
It's amazing. What'd you do about the lettering? Did you letter yourself?
I found some cool free fonts online and just threw them in Photoshop.
Cool.
There's a ton of good resources out there if you're just trying to get started. So that's what I use.
It's amazing. It's amazing that you did this, just by yourself without.
Yeah, I agree. That visual first aspect I was going to say too is really interesting too, because Noel Stevenson, the creator of like Nimona and Lumberjanes and all that fun stuff, is very similar, right? Like webtoons to print is this new era that we're seeing where it's like really you start with like a character model or idea or thumbnail, and then this whole story kind of like generates from that. So like it's interesting that you represent this kind of a new wave of, I don't know if you're doing that intentionally, of course, but like it does seem to be this it does seem to be this real increase in exactly what you're describing, right?
Yeah, thank you. I think this character design is a big thing for me. I feel like I love when you can look at a character and like already get an idea of like who they are and what their history is just from looking at them.
Yeah.
Like that's what I really wanted to go for. Like I feel like the look of a character goes a long way. Like I feel like I really tried to make Lady Maryland like this really like impactful design, and then the Sentinel, that's the name of the knight there. Like he's a knight with a flamethrower. Like it's just stuff I love, just thrown in. So
hell yeah.
I like what you're doing with this color palette, where it's like I can see that you're just using kind of the bright colors to draw attention to the main constitution of every page or panel, and kind of letting like the backdrop be a little bit more subdued. Like it's very like it's cool. It kind of reminds me of Stephanie Hans, the way she uses like bright colors in specific places to kind of guide the eye.
Yeah, wow. I can see that. I get what you're saying.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you. That's huge. I mean, I just love color. Like I just such a huge nerd for it. I like to think in my other work that I try to go nuts with color and have fun with it and just make stuff that I would like making. So thank you.
So I'm kind of like I'm like a Neanderthal when it comes to like art. Like I look at stuff and I'm like, oh, that looks cool, or those colors look nice. But like there's a whole academic side to it that you are probably very familiar with.
Color theory.
I'm figuring it out. I don't know how familiar I am, but I'm trying to learn it. I think with this specifically, I was trying to go for like the secondary palette, green, purple, orange, and sort of play with that. I like that, in older comics, which is like a huge inspiration for me, like just as far as like the aesthetics and the stories and the designs, you see primary colors a lot, red, blue, yellow. That's a big thing. It's in like sort of straight up good and evil sort of stories. And I thought it'd be fun if you took like a secondary color palette and like played with that. Like, how is that an inversion of like that old sort of style of coloring? I don't know.
Okay.
So Halden, there's a question for you in the chat. How did the design of Lady Maryland change from when you first came up with her until now?
So design-wise, I had done pieces with her in the past, and the basic look was always the same. The sort of like winged crown and the eyeball in the center of the crown with the horns. For this comic specifically, I thought it would be fun to give her more sort of like looks for different scenes, because she does sort of transform over the course of the story. so she starts off in like sort of like an elegant sort of evening gown look, and then when stuff starts going down and it gets pretty violent, she sort of transforms into a more armored design, and that's where like the body horror stuff comes in. I'm a big fan of like that old Disney animation trope of like, the evil queen like turns into a dragon at the end.
Yeah.
Like, what if it was that, but like it was a body horror transformation, and you saw her like get all gross and slimy when she turns into a dragon.
Like Resident Evil Village type
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah.
Me and you were like right there. I was just about to say that.
And I was thinking like Sailor Moon monsters.
Oh, nice. Yeah, sweet.
And that Resident Evil one. Woo, that was a good one. She was so hot.
She was hot. Yeah.
I haven't played that, but I love that whole idea. Like,
Yeah.
I get that. It's a good aesthetic.
Cool. So let's see where you are in this campaign. Wow. Yeah.
Bro, yeah.
You got to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got it.
That's it.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Go.
Oh no, I was just saying it got funded in the first day. Like that blew me away. I could not believe that.
That's awesome.
For a first comic, for like a very first comic, that's incredible. You should be very proud of that. That's pretty
Thank
awesome.
I have something to say. So I grew up living with Halden for many, many, many years, and he has always wanted to get his own original ideas out in the world through comic books, which is the media that he's pretty much loved the most through his entire life. And his dream is basically finally happening, and I'm really proud of him.
Thank you, dude.
Oh, that's
And
Hell yeah.
I love that.
I'm not spoiling anything, but
she dies at the end.
She dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
he is planning some more ideas. There's stuff rolling around in his head, and he's telling me about them. So there's going to be more content from Halden
So
in the
watch
future.
this guy.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Watch out.
Hey, is this video good or does it suck?
It's
I
good.
worked hard on it. So.
Okay.
It's a good video.
Let's see.
No bias. No biasy.
Hey, we'll be the judge of that. Hold on a second.
Let's see this.
Hey, I'm Halden Fraley, and I'm the creator of Lady Maryland and the Poisoned Knight. It's a dark fantasy comic that follows a knight on a quest to defeat the mysterious Lady Maryland, but it won't be as straightforward as he might expect.
Wow.
Lady Maryland and the Poisoned Knight is a love letter to the kinds of comics and stories that I grew up on, like sword and sorcery, 80s body horror, and classic animation from the 40s and 50s. My comic is completely done. All of the actual work on the book is finished, and the goal of this campaign is to get the book printed, packaged, and shipped off to you.
Woo.
I always get a weird rush seeing my work printed. I'm so excited to hold a physical copy of a comic I made in my hands, and I'm really excited to share that experience with you. Thanks for joining me on this big step, and prepare yourself, because soon Lady Maryland will awaken.
Oh, shit.
Oh wow.
Objectively
Holy shit.
speaking, that video was rad as fuck.
Yeah,
It was
good.
rad AF.
That was dope. That was
Thanks,
dope.
y'all.
It made
Is
me
this
want.
video any good?
It made me want to spend money, for sure.
That's pretty dope. You know what I really like about it? So I'm thinking practically, not really about the story and anything is, but sometimes I see like the amount and I'm like, what are you doing with that? Like, where are you at? And is this going to be, a waste of time? I really like how you put in there, like, this is done. This is what it's going to cost me to get this printed. And then it's like, okay, I feel comfortable giving money versus like, this is an idea in my head and give me money.
It instills the confidence that if I spend money on this and it reaches its goal, I will receive something in the
That's
mail.
right. That's right.
Also, super reasonable goal. Like, come on, give some money to this. If you're in the chat, like, if you like, it's Done. You
Done.
can just buy it.
What's been your biggest hurdle with something like this?
Gosh,
Like, do you have a printer? Do you know who you're gonna go through all that stuff?
I do, yeah. I'm gonna go through Mix'em. They're a printing website. They're pretty affordable. I talked to a bunch of professors that were like, "Hey, you should use this site. I've used them before." That's where the cost for it came from. I just got a little estimate from them. Honestly, I think the biggest hurdle was like making the comic. Like,
Wow.
working during COVID. Like,
So this is the easy part.
I mean, it's weirdly the most stressful part though, because I'm like, it's not mine anymore. I'm not like, it's not in my room on my drawing table or in my computer anymore. It's like, it's in front of people. That's kind of intense, but it's exciting.
That's awesome.
Pretty awesome, man.
Thank
And
you.
you're doing the right thing, like going to like some of the most prestigious YouTube channels and like kind of like getting the word out. So
I mean, no, I'm no joke. Like, I'm super grateful for y'all for having me on and letting me show it off. So thank you.
thank
That
you.
is so nice. What was the first thing we talked about for 10 minutes? It definitely wasn't prestigious.
We don't talk about that. The kids will start screaming.
Live in the now, Bree.
You're right. When you're right, you're right.
Wait, what happened? Did I miss another like r/anal or something? Or what?
Oh, you just had to be there. You just had to be there. Cool. So the link is in the chat. Definitely throw your money at this. This is gonna be awesome. It looks great. I can't wait to have it in my hand.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Make sure you continue to follow Halden. Sorry.
Like a
Make sure-
hallway.
Make sure to keep following Halden on Kickstarter because he's gonna make more shit. And if he makes more shit, you're gonna want that shit. So for sure. Definitely.
Can Flamethrower Knight fight Cylons in the next issue, or is that off the table completely?
It's not off the table actually.
Okay.
I've got ideas for different genre stuff, and
All right.
You're still dealing with the licensing. I got you.
We'll call them Lysons. It doesn't fucking matter, man. You can just do whatever you want, man.
All right,
Awesome.
link is in the description. There we
Cool.
go.
Thanks so much,
So,
y'all.
are you gonna stick around? Would you like to stick around? We would like. that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful. Awesome. Cool. So, Robo mentioned something in the chat a while ago about his favorite thing is Injustice.
Right
Well,
Yeah.
well, Mr. Roblo, sorry, I almost doxed Robo and then I caught myself. So there's an Injustice movie coming out, and there's some images for it were just revealed, and I don't have them readily accessible. So if you could just like look those up, that'd be good. But
Yeah. I got you.
But yeah, I'm stoked to see the Injustice movie. I don't know how it's gonna like there's like 5 entire runs of comics to form this story. I don't know how they're gonna cram it into one movie or if it's gonna be like a series of movies. But I tend to enjoy animated DC stuff, and I really like Injustice. So we shall see. Have any of you read Injustice?
Yeah, have it. Pretty good.
Yeah, it is really good. I think.
I read some of it. I played some of the games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't good at the games, but
Yeah.
So I never played the game, but there's like 5 seasons of the comic. It's like year 1, year 2, all the way up through 5, and then the comic series ends at the beginning of the game. And I didn't want to go dig up this old ass game, so I sat there for like an hour and a half on YouTube watching all the cutscenes from the game just to get the full story.
Yeah.
When I was done reading the comics, which was really painful, by the way. I'm never doing that again. But yeah, it's pretty.
I liked Ground Zero. I liked Ground Zero more than the hour and a half compilation, I'd say.
Yeah, Ground Zero was like, I don't know. I didn't love it. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad you liked it. Did you feel like it had the whole story? Like, do you feel like you got the whole story through Ground Zero?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was seeing all the stuff. As a matter of fact, I remember thinking that the cutscenes left out some things in Ground Zero. Like I feel like the cutscenes missed a lot of like what was going on with Harley and Joker and her gang and that whole thing. I don't know. I liked it. I read all through Ground Zero and did the compilations to see, and the way it kind of skips through because like if anybody who's played the game, there's a story, and then someone will come up and like you, and then that's going to be the fight scene, right? And so then you'll just get to it'll skip right after, and so it's
it's like you, and then a second later he's unconscious. It's well, that was a great fight. Yeah.
But I love this whole series, and I'm definitely excited for the animated. I know a lot of people don't like the whole dark and gritty or the bad Superman thing, but I think they did it really well too. And I just started Injustice 2, and that's starting off great. I don't know.
I have something to say about the evil Superman thing.
Go.
If you ask me, there's only been one decent evil Superman story, and we're gonna go back in time to the late 90s, where Batman Beyond was coming out on Kids WB, was it?
Yeah, something like that.
And there was the episode where Terry McGinnis,
probably gone by now, but take care. All right, go ahead.
Terry McGinnis joins the Justice League, and there's a traitor on the team. And what makes this evil Superman story great is that there was actual detective work involved in figuring out Superman is evil from a Batman cartoon. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe we've gotten like actual detective work before. It's just been like, Superman's evil. There he is. He's, putting the cat up in a tree.
I don't know if evil Superman has ever been in the detective Batman genre. I feel like it's always been like a separate thing for the most part.
Also, I think Batman
very overt.
So when you start talking about like detective work and stuff, I mean, in my head, and I would love to see how they did it in the Batman Beyond. So it sounds interesting, sounds cool, definitely. But when I think of like a god character going bad, I don't really see like some Brainiac level. I'm going to be working behind the scenes. Like, fuck this. No one could stop me. And everyone,
why hide if you're
yeah. And so in Injustice, what I like is I'm with you. I think the best Batman is like Sherlock Holmes, super brain detective Batman. I love that shit. But in Injustice, what I do like is kind of he still was like super brain Batman, where there's these like twists and these like double crossings or this background plot that nobody else on his team knows about because he's playing 5D chess. So while I wouldn't say detective work, like trying to figure out something, definitely like mastermind strategist level shit that he was doing in Injustice that I still enjoyed.
So
did anybody read Year Zero?
Year Zero.
No. I went from.
Are you talking about Snyder Run?
No, the Injustice Year Zero.
Yeah, no.
I think I did. Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, they did digital first on that one, but they put out a hardcover. It just came out a couple of months ago, and I haven't gotten my hands on it yet.
Oh well, let me buy that right now.
But
so I'm curious about it. Isn't that the one where premise is it's like the JSA or the JSA like years ago? So I'm interested in it, especially if Tom Taylor wrote it. But I guess what I'm wondering, just as a spoiler ask, is before Superman breaks bad, it's basically just normal ass DC. So what would be the point of a Year Zero in that world?
So you've read Injustice. Where was the JSA?
Not really anywhere. I think the one time you saw OG Green Lantern was like during one of the fights. He went to stop like Hal Jordan or something.
Right. So where are they? If it's mainstream DCU, and this is mainstream DCU pre-Flashpoint, we got to add that in there because obviously since Flashpoint we haven't really had JSA. But
I mean, I know it's not main DC, but it was like this is a world that's almost exactly like DC, with this one exception being the Superman losing his mind.
Right, but JSA is a big part of the DC universe. So the fact that we didn't see them in Injustice always made me go, "What the fuck happened to the JSA?" At first I kind of wanted, were they not there creating that? Because a lot of people credit the Justice Society for creating the atmosphere and the expectations of what it is to be a hero. And is that why one of the reasons Superman snapped? Because you didn't have the OG heroes kind of creating this idea around heroism and what a superhero is supposed to do. And, I always wondered that. Obviously we got Alan Scott in a little bit of a cameo, but we never really see the JSA. And there's a reason.
So
Hero tells us.
I can't wait to play this back. We should cut that out and watch me and Judah's face slowly go into this
realization. So the conceit. So Joker tricking Superman is not the critical point that changes this timeline. It actually happened because this is what would happen in a world where the JSA didn't have a chance to inspire Superman.
Well, I wondered if that's what it was, and that turns out not to be the case. Something else happens to the JSA, and they're not around.
So reground.
It's definitely a divergent point. I think there are some other divergent points, but that's the first one that starts to really take a turn away from the traditional DC history.
Smart. This is definitely my favorite world story for sure.
Tom Taylor is a fucking great writer. There's no way around that.
Amazing.
I think what you said too is also, and I won't speak for Judah. I know that Judah, you're mainly a Marvel guy, but you've read a lot of DC. But I think if this were a story about Marvel, I think it would be more and then Captain America goes bad and just dismantling everything. If the Avengers were missing, right, a big part, and we would immediately click to that. But the fact that I'm not a big DC reader, I didn't even really click to that. So that was interesting. Yeah, that's awesome. I'll read it.
I don't think this story would be as compelling in the Marvel universe. I think this is a story that has to be DC because there's not enough emotional investment in the super heavy hitters in the Marvel universe. If the Sentry goes bad, he's already kind of half bad,
right.
Or Hyperion goes bad,
Secret Empire was I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed Secret Empire, but it's not so scary if Captain America goes bad because he's nowhere near the level of godlike Superman ability.
Right. Captain Marvel just come in snuff.
So what if it's not? What if it's not the heavy hitter though? What if it's the moral center? What if Spider-Man snaps and starts offing people?
Well, that's why I would say Captain America. That happening was that right. So
that was that.
The good guy, that, the one who keeps everybody centered and is now bad.
I enjoyed Secret Empire. There's a lot of talented people involved. I didn't find it as compelling as it wanted me to find it. It kind of missed the mark for me a little bit. And that was largely due to kind of the contrivance of, the Cosmic Cube did this. So my imagination stops there of some magic spell caused all this shit to happen. Whereas in Injustice, it's this is the Superman that I know and love. And the thing that made him do this is something that would make me do it. You know what I'm saying? He was tricked into murdering his pregnant wife. That would snap anyone. Right. So that was, I don't know. I didn't find Secret Empire as compelling if we're comparing them side by side, but it was still pretty good.
You mentioned this is the type of story that can only be done with DC, couldn't be done with Marvel. Unrelated, but semi-related. Everybody's familiar with Crisis on Infinite Earths, right?
Yes.
Yeah. For DC. Yep. One of their greatest works. A fan, took Crisis on Infinite Earths and said, what if this was a Marvel event?
I saw that.
Did all 12 issues with Marvel characters.
That's
really?
Cool.
It's really good.
Yeah. Where did you find that? Online?
Yeah.
I saw it on Facebook. It's really, really good, and it's really interesting. I actually I ended up reading most of it, not expecting to just sit down and read it. But I looked into the guy who made it, and he's hardcore MAGA, so...
that's a shame. That's a shame.
Hardcore.
I won't feel so bad taking those to the print shop and getting them printed out for myself then anymore. I won't feel. I was like, man, I'm kind of taking this guy's money. Now screw him.
That's what I'm
saying. So I don't know if anyone else is as excited. I'll gauge the room. Okay, so Star Wars, the Book of Boba Fett, that thing that was kind of hinted at the end of season 3 of The Mandalorian. They have a premiere. They have a premiere date. It's on December 29th. So it's our Hanukkah surprise this year is going to be the Book of Boba Fett. And I literally cannot wait for that series.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped.
So
that
dope.
scene,
Definitely
that post-credit scene in The Mandalorian where he kills Bib Fortuna, and then he
Yeah,
sits
right.
down in the chair was just like,
This is my seat now.
Same. That was the same actor, Bib Fortuna, from Jedi, right? Like that's the same
Yes, it was
physical actor, right?
it was the same Bib Fortuna. He's in a little bit now, but it was the same guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he's in different shape or if it was just in the way that they made him in the show. But
No, he was
yeah,
Chonk. He was
He
Chonk.
was a
in the show.
little chonk dog,
Chonk.
yeah. But
Yeah.
it was good. I can't wait for this. This is gonna be great. I wonder if Mando is gonna be part of this.
I
What do you
think
think?
so.
It's gotta be.
I mean,
Probably.
if anything,
Maybe
there's gonna be a
cameo.
crossover event.
Mm.
Like
I bet they meet at points or something like that. But when you look at where Mando is going and then what Boba Fett is doing, I think we have two different stories going on.
I
Which I,
don't
would
know.
rather, by the way.
I think the King of the Mandalorians has like Space Kingpin as a homie to call on. Like
Mhm.
that's dope. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Wouldn't it be cool if they did like a whole Buffy and Angel thing, where they like
That-
were in and out of each other's shows?
That would be
sweet.
so cool.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Do any of you know who
Yep.
Prince Zizor is? Is
Yeah.
that, I feel like if they were gonna kind of pull a Thrawn and like bring him from Legends and like make him a new continuity character, this would be the time to do it because he
I
had
didn't
like,
think about that.
if you read Shadows of the Empire, which seems like you have, but like he's like this, he rules Black Sun, which is like the equal and opposite criminal organization to Jabba the Hutt's like spice trade empire.
Yeah.
And it would just be really
Ooh.
cool to see that Black Sun be like the organization that Boba Fett is standing up against in this
Oh,
thing.
that got me hyped. I never thought about that.
Right?
Sweet.
So dope.
Cool.
Yeah, I love it.
This poster.
I need that poster too. Man, this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
This is the most hyped I've been for a Star Wars thing since really, I mean, I loved Mandalorian, but I wasn't really hyped for it because I just didn't know if it was going to be good or not. But now that I've seen what they can do with Mando and knowing that this is coming, like,
Also, we have Tamira Morrison back. Like, what more
Yeah.
do you want?
yes,
Yeah.
I'm,
it's a good
when it
time.
comes to Star
It's
Wars, I
always
think
fan.
I'm like I think I might be the odd man out on this one, but when it comes to Star Wars, like I want more Jedis. I want more like Force and lightsabers, and I think there's a lot of people who are like, we've had 45 years of that. Like I want to see some other shit, some other parts of the world, which I think is totally fair. Like I don't argue that, but I'm like still like, yeah, but where did the Force come from? I want ancient stories on where they first figure out how to use the Force and all that stuff. But this is also cool. Yes, I like it. I just want.
I mean, they're doing that too, right? With the High Republic shit.
yeah,
Mhm.
But
yeah.
I
They're going
I just
pretty
want
far
like,
back.
Yep.
Because then I'm gonna like buy it and then I'll read it one day. But if it's
Yeah.
on TV, I'll for sure watch it.
Nice.
So, some sad news. New Venom comic book series from Ram V and Brian Hitch and Al Ewing delayed. So the first 2 issues have been delayed 2 weeks.
Boo.
I mean, Venom 1 going on sale October 27th now. And then, which is also the same day that Harbinger comes out, by the way. So that's going to be
So
exciting.
I know that fucking Miracle Man just sat there and shat all over the Spider-Verse. But as we all know, it's pretty great. And Venom is no exception. Every time I read a Venom comic, I have a great time. So I'm really excited for that.
I'm really.
Miracle Man,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just curious, Miracle Man, why don't you like Spider-Man?
He's not the first. I've heard of this. This is not uncommon.
The character really just doesn't speak to me in any way. You know, it kind of feels like everybody's been writing Spider-Man over the years, and you know, this might be an editorial issue at some point in time. But everybody's ever written Spider-Man, it kind of feels like they're always, and I think Rob said it really well. They're trying to write Woody Allen with superpowers, and they vacillate between that version of the character to you know the super science-y self-possessed one that you get before what was it, One More Day or No More Spiders, whatever crap that was. And then
you really hate Spider-Verse.
How do you really
I
feel?
do not care for Spider-Man.
That is wrong. You are wrong.
My favorite and honestly only Spider-Man book I've ever. I think Spider-Man works good as a supporting character in a team.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Sorry. I thought I hit the wrong button on my laptop for a second. And I'm like, what did I just pull up and how do I get out of it?
Who was that? Ree? Was that Ree or Jim?
No, that was me. That was me.
That's good. That's good.
You know when Spider-Man was in FF, he was an enjoyable character because I got 20% less Spider-Man.
Do you feel the same way? Do you feel the same way about like Deadpool?
I don't care for Deadpool in the slightest.
I like the Deadpool movies. I don't like him in the comics really.
Right.
That much.
Same. No. Harley Quinn, more or less, don't really care for that character as well. I love them both because they brought a lot of people in that wouldn't otherwise be into comics. You know, they definitely opened up, new fans to comics, and that's great. But for myself, just don't really care for the characters. But I'll tell you
Harley
this:
Quinn as well.
I don't think zany screwball slapstick characters can't really carry a title for me. I like seeing them in appearances.
And you know what? Honestly, Spider-Man, same bucket.
But the show, though.
Actually, I would rather read a Harley Quinn book than a Spider-Man book any day of the week. Best Spider-Man story I ever read was Zdarsky's life story. And you know why?
Solid. That's pretty solid.
He grew old and fucking dies by the end of the book, man. All right, I'm tired of this high school kid type character. Just got out of high school. Oh, all of a sudden I'm a CEO. Oh, all of a sudden I'm 16 and getting beat up by Flash Thompson again. Just pick a fucking lane, man. Sorry.
Okay. Anyway,
do you want to talk offline?
Is everything all right?
We made a lot of progress today.
All right. Yeah, this is a breakthrough. Yeah.
Well, this is the end of our time, but remember the exercises we talked about. And
so I'm gonna go set fire to some Spider-Man figures. I'll be right back.
So anyway, Marvel and DC are barring. Okay. Some shit. Marvel and DC are barring comic book artists from selling superhero NFTs. Yeah. So this is kind of.
Sorry, go on.
This is in kind of contrast to traditionally, both of those publishers have always let artists create and sell like their own like commissioned art of these characters. It's just always been kind of how this shit works. But I guess digitally, there's just too much money involved, and they refuse. They're not letting them sell the NFTs. I don't know how much they can enforce that. Probably.
Hey, look,
a
it's
lot.
Miracle Man's favorite.
But oh yeah, there he is.
How much money are you paying for this one, Miracle Man?
I will pay $0. In fact, I'll pay somebody $10 to burn it. How's that sound?
Okay, I'm gonna start calling you Miracle Parker.
And just for that, I'm off camera. That's it. I'm done.
Judah knows why I'm laughing at that hard.
I do know he's laughing. Yeah. So anyway, that's the whole story is that they're not letting them sell NFTs.
Because of the environment, right? Because of the negative effect it has on the environment, right?
That's got to be it. That's got to be it.
They're straight up selling their own NFTs. That's what Nike did.
Wait a minute. So then it's not about the environment. Wait a
Not
minute.
at all.
There's millions of dollars to be made in them leveraging their incredibly vast collection of comic book art in the NFT scene. So that's why they're doing it. And it's kind of shitty. I don't know.
I think this whole NFT thing is it's going to be. This is the defining point of the difference between generations. I would say, me as a very young Gen Xer, like I think that I'm in this like transition period with the internet and stuff. And there's always these things about like kids these days, but I'm on TikTok and there's like these things that we're all kind of share. I think NFT is gonna be the thing that I'm just never gonna fucking understand. I don't care how unique it is. I don't care if I have a code that says no, this is you can screenshot it, but you don't have the key. And this file is super special. I'm like, cool, you have a super special file that can be deleted. I don't understand it, and I think this whole conversation, I'll never really get. So
I've had it explained to me like 50 times at this point, and I still don't really understand it.
It's like I understand it because I do I know torrents, right? So you can have keys to these things. I understand cryptocurrency, but I'm like, it's still digital. It's still not mine, you know. And if I lose the key, it's fucking gone forever, and it's weird. I don't fucking.
Yep.
I'm an art nerd, so I get heated about it. But like,
go. I want you to get heated. I want to hear it.
Yeah, get
heated.
It's what?
It's forced scarcity. Like it's.
Yeah.
I don't know how you take part in this and not see how it's a scam. And that's not even talking about the environmental parts of it. Like,
right.
But people say that about comic books because they do forced scarcity, and like they argue that because of that it's a scam. And I kind of understand that with like some companies and some like ways that they do the variants and some, you know what I mean?
At the end of the day, though, I can do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The best part.
Yeah,
it's the best part.
So Ace says the difference between owning the original in the comic and a reprint, and it can have the same exact material in it, but people choose the most authentic one. Yeah, sure. I mean, but here's the thing, though. Even reprints can become valuable because it did so well, and in reprint 4, they only put out 100. You know what I mean? So it all boils down to scarcity. Even real life paintings, if the painting is like super by somebody super talented, well, I'm only going to do one portrait a year. Now my paintings are worth $1 million because, and even that forced scarcity, the cost and the consumerism, I get it. I just can't imagine
the joy of it.
Caring, for a fucking file on my computer. But like, here's the worst part. I heard a story about a dude who had cryptocurrency and it was worth over $1 million. And the way cryptocurrency works is completely decentralized. Lost his key. Something happened to his computer, never had the key, went through all these things and just fucking lost $1 million worth of crypto. Like your NFT that is super rare can just be gone like that. Like, I mean, I guess your painting could be gone in a fire, but I don't know.
But like, I don't. It's a matter of like like you talk about comparing comics. It's like here's my Fantastic Four number 49. I love it. It gives me joy. I can touch it whenever I want. And I can hold it in my hands and be like, this is a thing I have that's cool. I just can't I can't imagine getting that joy out of some shit on my computer. You know, like it's just not real to me. It's not a real thing to me. I know it's a real thing, but
one day those things behind you will be like digital frames and you upload your NFT to it and it's on display behind you, you know?
I guess
just bolt a tablet to the wall.
Yeah.
But it has a smell. This like this came out of a printing press that doesn't exist anymore. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that, you know? Like there's just layers to it that I can't imagine being digital. But maybe just because I can't imagine it doesn't mean it's not real. So whatever. Whatever, you Zoomers, have fun with that shit.
Suck it.
So
your problem. Fix it, bitch.
on a less like incomprehensibly bizarre note, this is just kind of some fluff. This is a fluff piece, but it's a fun fluff piece. So Jamil, who you might know from The Bad Place and also from pretty much like a good chunk of my sexual fantasies from before I was married.
Yeah, that's mainly where I know it from. Your sexual
my sexual fantasies. She is going to be Titania in She-Hulk, and she just showed off her comic accurate Titania hair, and it looks really cool.
Nice.
When I first heard that she was going to be on She-Hulk, but wasn't going to be She-Hulk, I was like, but why? But why? You know? But yeah, she
would have been an awesome She-Hulk too. She's like super tall. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she'd be great, but she'll be an awesome Titania too. I mean, does that mean she has to hook up with the Molecule Man?
Okay.
Did that happen?
Technically speaking.
Do you mean Absorbing Man?
No, the Molecule Man in Secret Wars. She like seduces him early on in the in the series.
And they're still together in Secret Wars too.
Yeah, that's right. They had a long, fruitful romance.
Good for them.
Yeah, her hair looks great. So I'm definitely stoked for that show, that She-Hulk series. I think it's gonna be great.
I think so too. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Definitely gonna be awesome. What's the name of the actress that's playing She-Hulk again? I always forget her name, but Ben.
Tatiana Maslany.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. She looks great. I haven't seen her in full She-Hulk, but she does look.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Everything she's in, she slays.
I was actually really excited to hear that Tatiana would be playing She-Hulk. I'm like, yes, Orphan Black was amazing. If you guys haven't seen Orphan Black, you need to go do that.
There's also comics, so go check it out.
Nice. Well, I wonder how compelling She-Hulk is gonna be. Like, I feel like Marvel has I hope they're not painting themselves into a corner, right? It seems like everything that Marvel puts out has to be this powerful, compelling, whoa, it's gonna, making me want the next thing. And She-Hulk, I don't know. I kind of want something just fun, just something for me to watch every week. But
that's She-Hulk. That's She-Hulk. She-Hulk's like the original fun character.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm hoping they stay with. That's what I mean. I'm hoping they don't feel like they need to have some like some Scorsese epic, behind it. So I'm excited for this.
Yeah,
it'll be good. And then on that note of the MCU, this is our last news item. So Disney unveiled their theatrical release slate through 2024, and what they included that was kind of interesting is 4 different Marvel Studios dates staggered that they didn't have before. They've added 4 announced Marvel Studios film release dates. So at this point, there are 3 officially announced Marvel projects that don't have release dates. We know there's a Fantastic Four coming out. We know there's a Blade coming out, and we know that there's going to be Deadpool 3. There's also been reports of a Captain America 4, but this time with old Sammy Wilson. So that could be those, or it could be something that we have never seen. So, it's exciting. I guess 4 Marvel movies a year is going to be the standard now. So everyone get ready for that. I'm okay with it.
Oh yeah.
I'm okay with it. I hope I don't get burnt
every
out.
Financial quarter.
Wasn't there was the Sam Wilson Captain America that got announced, right?
I don't know if it's been officially announced. There's a trade report. I don't know what that really means, but there's a trade report of it. I don't know if it's been officially announced by Marvel Studios, but I think we could be 99.9% sure that it's gonna happen.
Yeah. So the November 8th one is gonna be Secret Wars, the intro to Secret Wars. I just made that up, but if I'm right, we have to say I called it. So
okay.
I figured that stuff is gonna stay within the Disney Plus.
You think Secret Wars is only going to be on Disney Plus?
No way.
No way.
That's going to be a $bajillion movie.
That's going to be at the end of Phase 6. That's going to be the caps. That's going to be the Infinity Wars in 10 years.
6? You think we're going to still be on the MCU?
Yeah, I mean the first 3 phases are the Infinity Saga. It took them 10 years to tell it. They're going to do another saga, and it's going to end with a massive culminating event.
And my prediction here is by the end of the next saga, Miracle Man is going to enjoy Spider-Man.
No.
They're going to come out with the greatest Spider-Man story that'll convince Miracle Man that Spider-Man is a good character.
That is the least likely of scenarios.
So this Miracle Man is only the Miracle Man of our reality. There's actually a miracle totem that transcends all realities, and eventually there's going to have to be a Miracle Man verse.
I want to go to the point in our timeline that splintered off and created a Miracle Man that hates the entire Superman universe. Something happened.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
The entire Superman universe.
I'm not Spider-Man. I'm in
Spider-Man universe. Oh,
like something happened where it broke off and created a.
Can I say can I put a rather controversial hot take?
This is the Gwen Justice universe.
Go ahead.
I do not care for Steve Ditko. Any Steve Ditko.
Does that color your? Because I remember you talked about that last time. Does that color your bias of his work at all?
Does that color what?
Your bias at all?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm definitely biased. If Steve Ditko's involved, I don't care for it.
What about Doctor Strange?
Nah. No, but you know what? The stuff he did for everything. DC, his indie stuff. I just never cared for his style. It's fine if people like it, but my first real exposure was like Shade the Changing Man and Prince Ramen, from DC. Not the greatest IPs. And they just weren't great. And Spidey, I saw that older Spidey stuff later. I was like, yeah, still don't care for his stuff, and it just never grew on me.
Wow, even like through Todd McFarlane and all that, huh?
Yeah, just never grew on me.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've read individual stories. I was like, all right, I like this story. There was
JMS Spider-Man is objectively good. You have to at least admit that, right?
Okay.
I mean, I'd say that Spider-Man is objectively good, like since it's like a main it carries Marvel. It's
Spider-Man.
It's been an independent solo title, never having stopped being one.
Listen,
you don't have to like it. I think that's
right.
More valid in not liking it. But
no, I got what you're saying.
Objectively an awesome character.
All I'm saying is Youngblood sold like 1 million copies too, man.
Well, where are they? Where are they?
Sitting in dump bins all across America.
Right.
But guess what? So is a whole lot of Spider-Man. I bet you I go find a whole lot of Spider-Man sitting in dump bins all across America.
For sure, but I'm just saying the title was carried through 60 years. Like while whatever the blood, whatever the fuck from Liefeld is not has not.
Agreed.
You're
right.
You come here in good faith. We invite you here.
You shit all over our house.
We show up and then just like.
I understand where you're coming from. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I'd kick me the fuck out of here too if I was you. I won't even lie. So
when we have a Halloween episode, because everyone's got to dress up, if you do not wear a full-on Spider-Man outfit with the full-on face covering, I'm gonna be so mad.
I don't know if I can pull that off, but I'll see what I can do.
I would, but I have like a huge melon, and I feel like wearing skin tight things just accentuate. They'd be like, is that like if Charlie Brown dressed up as Spider-Man? Is that what that is? And I'd be like, so I have to do something a little bit more slim.
Excuse me, you have a beautiful noggin.
I know.
Don't you dare.
It's very. See that? It's almost a perfect circle. So,
what's your costume going to be then?
I don't know.
You better. It's got to be something with an awesome mustache.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know what that is.
Ron Jeremy.
Oh,
Jeremy.
If he comes as Ron Jeremy, can we play that old porn music every time right before he speaks?
Yes.
Like a bow, chicka, wow, wow.
Yeah. Amazing. I love it. That's great.
Hey, didn't Ron Jeremy just go to jail?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm pretty sure
Apparently, Ron Jeremy is like a sex pest. I know it's like a huge stretch of the imagination. I never.
What a surprise!
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really. I mean, we go down a tangent, but I was reading some stuff about that, and it's like a really fucked up part of, like, there's like, porn work is valid. It's all sex work is valid, but then there's like this industry, and of course people go, very victim blamey, and they're like, well, what do you expect? I'm like, well, you expect to be able to do work without fucking being raped, right?
Right. I just meant mainly Ron Jeremy.
No. I'm just saying, like, so that whole industry's fucked, and then Ron Jeremy is a huge product of that, especially coming out of the 70s, where it's like, I don't have to, like, even when the scene says cut, I don't have to go back to respecting them as human beings, and he's just a piece of shit. Yeah.
Right.
I do not beat off to his work anymore, and
I've never.
Well said.
I've never once beat off to a porn starring Ron Jeremy. And it has nothing to do with him as a person. It's just there's nothing that makes me less horny than Ron Jeremy.
He's bad. I definitely put vintage as a modifier in some of my stuff, and Ron Jeremy's is like, he does this weird thing, and We'll talk offline about it.
Halden's like, I came on here to talk about my comic book, and like, we're talking about beating off to porn with old male.
Here we are
porn
once
stars
again.
and
You know
shit.
Ron Jeremy's? You should Google him if you don't, Halden.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Hey, have you had a blue waffle before? Because you should check
Don't
those out.
No.
Google that.
Don't
do
you don't
it.
need to know
That'll
that.
be a
Or
pass.
sounding.
Yeah. You don't
Good enough sounding.
Jesus Christ. So this has been our show. Thank you so much, everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what was that? Jeremy was surreal life Flavor
Oh,
Flav.
yeah. There's
I
another
said
Ross
this-
dude, Flavor
I-
Flav.
I said this earlier, but I'll say it again. IFLC is a learning environment.
It is. This is an academic. This is a place of learning, an academic
A
environment.
house of learned doctors, some would
That's right.
say.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel learned. I feel very learned.
Wonderful. And
You're definitely the high end of the curve, Halden, in this battle,
you whippersnappers better be paying attention because
right?
got a lot of interesting facts for y'all.
Hey, if you all don't know, Lady Fantastic, she's going to be going live tonight. If you're in here and you still want to watch some more comic book stuff, go look up Lady Fantastic and check them out. Are we done, Judah?
We're done. I just want to mention Halden Fraley's Kickstarter again. Check that out. The link is in the comments and
In the description.
get this. Are you signing each copy that you ship?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Were you gonna do that before I said that, or
I was.
is that-
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Not
So
sure.
you can get-
I mean, I don't. I know I'm just starting out, so it's not like a huge thing to just sign it. So
stuff signed by who made it is always better than stuff not signed by the people who made it. That's just kind of my personal philosophy on comics.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Cool.
All right.
All right. There's our show.
All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, MBs, that is the end of our show. Don't forget to check us out. Follow us on Twitter. Join our Discord. We do a bunch of other side shows. We also have Pride or Die. And then Miracle Man, thank you for joining us. Go check out Not Near Mint. If you're in the chat, you probably already know about Not Near Mint and all this stuff because you're our friends for a long time. But if you're lurking and you're brand new, just search IFLC or I Freaking Love Comics or go to iflcomics.com and then see all the links and the things we do there. I love you all. Don't forget to go get vaccinated. Get vaccinated.
What's up, friendly neighborhood nerds? If you want to hear interviews from industry pros, get first looks, and have access to endless comic content, wake up. Please wake up. You're in a coma. Your mother misses you.